Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. About a month or two ago I gave away a few 5-6 bags of locks, and then a few other people asked for them. I gave them some as well, and I got an email from I think it was THUMPER Lock Picking, and he wanted a bag as well. So I'm always happy to help out locksmithing community or lock pickers, lock sport, but unfortunately I only have so many kind of left, and as I do kind of get them, I collect them. Today's new addition is a carver. Now, I've been told that, you know, carver you can do with a moist paddle pop stick, but on saying that, it's never really worked for me. But somebody with a lot more patience who enjoys lock picking, it might actually work for. I can't tell you on how to pick them, because that would be wrong, but there is a fair few here that can be done via various methods. I can tell you what tools might be able to be used, but I can't tell you exactly how to pick it. That would be up to you, and lock sport community is actually quite growing, and there's some really good lock pickers out there. So these locks on the bench here today I've pulled out, and this is the challenge that he wanted some locks to pick, so I'm going to give him some. I'll put a link down in the description to the bloke who's getting these, and hopefully when he has a crack at them, maybe he'll put a few videos on and see how he went with them, so that we can see whether or not he can crack them or not crack them. So the challenge is, and I'm going to zoom in here so you can kind of see them, so we're all on the same page, and I'm just going to focus. 1 second. Okay, so we have a lane, restricted profile, not your normal lane, a restricted profile. We have a carver 530 cylinder, and that one there is definitely going to sort out the men from the boys. We have a Lockwood with spool pins in it, 570 cylinder, still a good cylinder. We have an old Lockwood C4 cylinder. This one here is pickable, shouldn't be too much of a challenge. The only thing that's going to make it challenging is it's old, and it could be, you know, a little bit crusty. Okay, moving over now to Austral cylinder. These ones here actually use wafers, and they can be a little bit tricky sometimes, so I've thrown that one in. Another one here we've got is a screen door cylinder, which is actually on the Widco profile WC2 key, so they're a little bit more complex because of the shape of the key and the profile of the key. So that one's definitely pickable. Here we have another one, TE2 profile cylinder, a little bit more tricky because you've got the profile of the key, but yet you're still pretty much picking 5 pins in line. This one here I pulled out of a job, and it's kind of jammed, but you just need to hit the key out, and it's this this happy symbol. So I'm going to throw in that one with 2 keys. It might be fun for Thumper to pull apart or whatnot. You just got to get the key out of it. Look, it's there. It's there if you want it. If not, throw it in the bin. This one here is a profile cylinder, and it's I believe it's like the overseas. I've got to remember the name of it. It's Caesar or Viro, or one of those ones. Not Viro, Caesar. So it's more of the Yale profile, and I'm gonna. Don't know why that key doesn't come out. Oh, there it does. I'm going to let him cheat on that one. I'm actually going to give him a key. A lot of the locks that I see other people picking actually have the key, and I think that's cheating a little bit, because you can actually, you know, adjust your picking technique to know what the key is, so you're going to get a lot quicker. So I'm not a fan of supplying keys, but with a couple of them you get a couple of keys. They're easy enough to pick anyway. Here's just a simple C4 cylinder. It's been drilled on one side, but the other side is still good, and that looks like it's long, so it's a 6-pin. Moving over here, I've included one of the very few last buy locks I found, because I actually gave them all away because we don't do buy lock and I can't reuse them, and they're hard to pull apart, and like, what's the point if they're just going to sit out there on the shelf? So buy lock, you know, I've heard of people getting double needles on their pick guns and and look, depending on how it's master keyed, if it's master keyed to work multiple combinations, you got more of a chance of picking it. If you're picking one that's only set up to one key, it's going to be a lot harder. Is it impossible? No. Is it doable? Yes. Can it be done? Yes. Have I picked many in my lifetime? No. Okay. Yale, good old Yale, you know, probably 20-30 years old. Why do they create a problem for lock pickers? Well, because they've got spool pins in them, and the lock is not great. A lot of the time it's got dirt, slack, play, all sorts of crap. Widco die-cast body. These ones here can pose a little bit of a challenge because it's hard to find that shear line. It's hard to find that shear line sometimes one, because they're not clean, and two, because of the die cast. The die cast does give a little bit of a resistance sometimes. So there's one there for him too. I'm throwing in a second lane restricted because, you know, if one wasn't a challenge, you can have a second. Sometimes you can have two of the same lock, right? I can give you two of these side by side. One you're going to get in 10 minutes, the other one you're going to get in probably an hour. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you can pick them really quick, sometimes you can't. Who knows? Let's see how Thumper goes with these. Maybe he'll pick them both in 2 minutes. I don't know. I'm throwing in another, well, this one here is a cheap Chinese one. This shouldn't pose any threat to a lock picker at all. The profile, the broach is a little bit here and there, so it might, you know, might give the need a little bit of work. This one here is a double-sided wafer lock, and this is used in a sliding door. Look, it's not the hardest, and you can cheat by looking through the windows as you pull your levers up. So I think if you're in it for the sport and you want to see what you can do, then I would certainly be sort of holding it there and trying to pick it without cheating, looking at the sides. But it's still yet another good challenge. And then I've included one that is the same type of system, where you've got opposing wafers, and it's a double-sided wafer key LF24. So they can be tricky sometimes. They really can be tricky. It really depends on how it's keyed up, and I'm too lazy to pull this apart. Look, it's Friday, it's late, I'm already at beer o'clock, and I'm not going to be pulling these apart. And depending on how much, like you see this discoloration here, depends on how much sort of grease is in it, to how those levers move, to how the discs are set up, the highs and the low cuts, to how the lock picker is skilled, and how what ranges they go through to start off with, to how quick it will be. I mean, for most locksmiths, they'll get it open within 2 or 3 minutes. Lock pickers, other lock pickers, depending on your skill, you might get it open in 1 minute, might get it open in 10 minutes, but it is there just to give you a challenge. So if you're going to pick these, give them a go with the hand tools. These ones here are used for multi-lock, and ones like this where you can actually get up in there, you know. Give them a go with the hand tools. I think it'd be cheating a little bit if you were to, you know, zap them with the electric, but you know, it's completely doable. And I'm not even using a tension tool, I'm actually trying to turn this. What am I doing? But, you know, it's doable. The electric pick gun makes short work of these double-sided opposing wafer ones, but that's a little bit of cheating. And same with this one here, the bi-lock. You know, you got to hand pick it to really feel it. And if you're hand picking it, really feeling it, like Lock Pick Lawyer does, or a few bonsai lock pickers, then you really be feeling it. Like, especially with this one with the spool pins. You know, feel those spools, work your way through, drop a few along the way, pick them up again. You know, that's where the challenge and the fun is. Can you do it without you know, using the cheating tools or whatnot, and having some fun while you're doing it too. So Thumper, I didn't forget about you. Actually, I did forget about you. I saw that there, and then I've got a million other emails, and it's not personal, it's just I've been bogged down with emails, and I put it aside on things to do list, and I completely forgot. I got your comment there, so I'm going to send you some, and I'm hoping that you can do something with this carber. You know, real for fair, you're going to actually see if you can pick that, because it is completely doable. Most likely it's master keyed, it came from a big building, and if you can pick it, you know, that's an achievement in itself. Just picking the carber Quattro, or whichever one it is. The bi-lock, once again, that's going to be an achievement too. Even just some of the Yales too, they're challenging. They can be challenging. Really depends on how it's made up, what pins are in it, and you're getting a mixed bag of lollies. So go for gold. Happy picking, and g'day to all lock sport people out there. I'm not going to be sending out any more bags because I pay for them. I've got to round them all up. It takes time. Maybe I'll do some more next year. But yeah, Thumper, if you can leave a link to your video or a comment, show us how you go. Look, no harm in trying, and if you get them, good. If you don't, you don't. You know, a lot of these locks will give me a bit of a run for my money, but definitely the bi-lock would give me a run, the carber would give me a run. I've had Yales on some people's doors. Sometimes they open up real quick and I'm real happy. Sometimes they really give me a run for my money. So, you know, a lot of these locks here, most locksmiths would actually just put a drill straight through when they see them. So you got to remember that too, that you know, to get them open, if you got to drill it, that's not picking. That's not picking, that's just drilling. And the idea is to actually defeat the pins which in the mechanism that are designed to keep you out, defeat them, and that's the challenge in the lock picking. It's designed to keep you out. They just put all these little metal parts in little funny spots, or this, or little broaching, and they designed to keep you out. So if you can defeat that, you're defeating their mechanical stop, and that's where the joy is at with lock picking for me, is, to say, well, I'm better than that lock, I'm better than that lock, I can do that lock, I can do that lock, and it's just about the challenge. So if you've got the time, you've got the patience, and you want to give it a go, give it a go. Thumper, good luck, and I'll leave a link down to your channel down below, just so that way anyone else who wants to see how you went with these locks, whether it's a win, a pass, a fail, doesn't matter, just giving it a go just for fun. I mean, I know right now it's Friday and I've had a couple of beers, but you know what, I still have no urge to really want to try and pick this one or this one, but other people do, and yeah, I support you guys because you're in the lock community. So anyway, I've waffled on enough. Thanks for watching, and link in the description.